The famous poet Coleridge said that genius is carrying the feelings of childhood into the powers of manhood. What that means to me is, instead of growing up as we know it, leaving the child that you were behind and just inventing a new life for yourself as a man, sacrificing all ability to dream and to be happy even, and just living as a different person, what growing up as a successful growing up as a man would mean is that you just empower that child to become a man. Instead of abandoning your childhood dreams and aspirations, you actually start working on them. You're expressing that same self. Many men's biggest obstacle to becoming the man they were meant to be is the treatment, their own treatment of the child within themselves. Now, when that child was growing up, he used to watch and read comic books, and most of the time were just about heroism, about great men who are just achieving something heroic. Superman, Batman, and all the westerns, and all the superheroes. And what does it tell you about the child's heart? That he's destined for something great. He's destined to make a difference. He's destined to grow up and become someone that will be just unique in its expression of masculinity. It doesn't mean he's going to be the next prime minister, but he'll be great within his own world and keep growing. And that world might be just a family or a company or organization or just your own little community where you live. But you make a difference in people's life through your masculine expression, the expression of your masculine self. And you see, harsh men, when you meet harsh men, they haven't got love for others because they haven't got love for the child that they once were, and they still are inside. They have contempt for that child. Men who are weak and just stuck in that stage of being a dreamer and a creator and a writer that's never really been fulfilled and just drink themselves to death. I know some people have. And have actually gotten in touch with that child or never lost that touch, but never really discovered the powers of manhood because they never had someone to take them in it. They never had the world of men like it used to be in the past, the world of the fathers to take you into manhood. Think about it. How do you treat the child that you once were? When you think about yourself in those first years, were you bullied? Were you shamed for being this and that? Or for not being enough? How do you feel about yourself in those years will determine what sort of a man you can become. That's the limit of your future manhood. And it's not about achieving great things. You might go on to become great, to set a new world record, but you will never become the full expression, the full rounded up expression of that masculine self unless you turn and become like a child again. And this might mean walking through some of your childhood pain. This might mean picking up long forgotten hobbies and visiting old places. They might invoke pain, but behind the pain there is always the gold of childhood. There's always a goal of rediscovering yourself as a boy while still walking on the way to manhood. A full rounded up man does not lose his childhood self. Instead, he actually has the power of having the masculine abilities and powers to empower that self. We don't lose the child, we empower the child, we love the child. How you become a man? By becoming a boy first. You want to follow the high calling, you need to take the low road. It might not be pleasant. It might mean meeting that little boy in all his weakness and vulnerability, but this is what needs to be done. You need to embrace him. You need to become him again. And then you will be empowered. You will become the man that you were born to be. But you need to have the bravery to actually face that boy first. Become like a child again.